Congressman, thank you for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Greatly appreciate it. All right, so I didn't realize this until I did some reading here today, but you've been directly impacted by Lyme disease. And I bring that up because the tick population in the country right now is booming. And it's something that you are affected by personally, correct?
Yes, of course. And it's something that a lot of Americans and most of your readers are affected by. But the terrible part about it is we don't know. This is one of those creeping illnesses that may manifest itself in just being tired, being irritable, being sore. And you might chalk it up to a number of things that could be wrong. You know, you go to Google and see what might be the issue. But underlying symptoms are things that are associated with tick-borne illnesses, Lyme disease. And the kicker about it is, even if you get a standard test, you might clear, you might pass. But unless you get specific tests, you're not going to be able to actually tell if you have Lyme disease. This is why Secretary Kennedy, the leader of the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, is actually proposing war, leading this effort against tick-borne illnesses and Lyme disease. My family, my wife and my children have these issues that cause fatigue and autoimmune conditions and even in some cases neuropsychological issues. But proper diagnoses, we can actually reverse these issues, and RFK agrees. He's leading the effort, and I've been supporting those efforts in Congress, and we're going to make Michigan healthy again with our efforts in Michigan when I become governor.
So testing is incredibly important. Is that something that, obviously, if the Health and Human Services Secretary Kennedy is pushing it, it's something you'd like to see at the federal level, but if you were governor of the state of Michigan, would you do more here?
Oh, absolutely. I would absolutely do more at home in Michigan, especially because way back in, it seems like ages ago, but it was just last year, 2025, two Western Michigan University bioethicists, if you can call them that, suggested that it was morally obligatory to release ticks to infect people with this disease called alpha-gal disease. And if you're not familiar, it makes people allergic to red meat, so they don't eat animals. This is how crazy the left has become, sacrificing humans for their climate change agenda. Well, WMU since deleted that paper from its website, but the effects are still around. And so we need to make sure that we are making folks resilient to the extremism, making sure that we have testing that's accurate so that we can keep Michigan healthy. And I think that Michigan needs to lead the way. Cancer is rising around the country. Tick-borne illnesses are rising around the country. And I'm going to do everything I can to make Michigan safe and to make Michigan strong.
Yeah, and on to that, I want to extend that a little bit into a pesticide liability shield. You want it out of the Farm Bill. Look, if they're putting chemicals out there that are harmful to people, and there's research that's done, why do all these big companies, big pharma, big pesticide, big ag, big food, big everything, why do they get a free pass?
Well, they don't anymore. The House passed the first farm bill since 2018 with Republican leadership. This was also the biggest win for clean food that we've had in my lifetime. What you were talking about, Steve, is there is a provision in the past to shield pesticide makers from getting sued if their product made people sick. We stripped that out. I voted for the amendment, and it passed. And because, like I mentioned, cancer is on the rise, we absolutely have to have clean air, clean water, safe food, and protecting our farmers while also protecting our food supply. For far too long, the priorities have been messed up, and a lot of these big companies, frankly, not only own the companies that make the pesticides, but they actually own the pharmaceutical companies that are meant to treat the cancer that is caused by the pesticides that are being sprayed. So this goes deep. And no pun intended, these roots need to be pulled out. We need to hold these big companies accountable, and we need to do everything that we can to make sure that we support our farmers and that we have cleaner food as well.
As we head towards the finish line and toward the primary August the 6th, I do want to ask you about this. Perry Johnson was on the program this week, and he said you voted for this kill switch in cars. He said he very much opposes it. What is your rebuttal to Perry Johnson on the kill switch in cars? Why would you support it or not support it?
Well, first of all, Perry Johnson's a liar. I never voted for a kill switch bill. I voted for Trump's Department of Homeland Security funding. At the White House's request, I voted against a never-Trumper poison pill led by Thomas Massie amendment intended to derail the American president's agenda. President Trump signed my bill to push back on Biden-era EV mandates, Biden-era mandates, and I'm the first Michigan member to lead the anti-kill switch bill here in Congress. Perry Johnson would have voted to defund ICE, Customs and Border Patrol, maintain Biden's open borders, and defy the president. This is also someone who spent $30 million to primary the president in 2024, said that he was scared to debate, and said he wouldn't show up. So I would be careful where we get our information from, Steve, and make sure that we share the truth. And the truth is, Perry Johnson's lying. You can go and check for yourself. H.R. 1137. H.R. 1137. I was among the first dozen or so co-leaders on this bill, and I'm the first Michigan congressman to lead this effort. I'm on the Committee of Jurisdiction. We're going to be working hard to make sure we get this through Congress, because under no circumstance should the government be spying on the people.
And, John, that's why I asked you. You have a right to respond, and respond you did, sir. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you, Steve.
Really appreciate it. We'll be right back after this.